Tonight at Mount Carmel Area High School, we have last year's returning District 4 PIAA champions returning to have their banner unveiled, and they'll be honored. Last year's team had a 27-1 record. They were two-time defending District 4 PIAA champions, Division II champions of the Heartland Conference. We have members of last year's team assembled along the baseline here for the unveiling of the banner. Last year's team won 2 state playoff games and lost a very tough game to York Catholic in the state semifinals. York Catholic went on to play for the state championship.
And along with their 27-win record, post the best record in the farthest advancement of any ladies red tornado.
Last year's team with 27 wins had the most wins in school history, and they advanced the farthest into the state tournament as any team in Mount Carmel area girls basketball history.
And remain step forward as I announce your name.
Here are the members of last year's team, the members of last year's senior class: Heather Bolick, Kim Anders Scavage, Renata Aaronsfield, Kim Turles, Kayla Seamus, Amanda Kuzo, who's not here this evening, and Alyssa Buggy. Those are last year's graduates. Junior from last year, Elise Nestico, Marissa Klinger. Last year's sophomores, Paige Hornig, Anna Raybuck, Ali Verano, Brianna Lutz, Chelsea Matos, also not here, Darla Hood, and Morgan Mariello. Freshman members of last year's team: Isabella Steller, Jennifer Bolick, Jordan Weinhofer, Madison Watkins,
Brianna Graff,
and Brianne Graff.
And to not forget our managers, Garrett and Nicole Verano.
Garrett and Nicole Verano as managers are also being recognized.
I will now ask our senior girls to please go over to the red crepe paper and please do the
Last
honors.
year's seniors will do the honors of pulling the paper down and unveiling the banner.
In the Mount Carmel High School Gymnasium. Full heart, girls.
Oh, there it is. The 2011-2012 Mount Carmel area girls basketball team, District 4 champions, Heartland Conference Division II champions, and coaching staff from last year was head coach Lisa Verano and assistants Frank Bullock and Gary Spears. And after some photographs here and warm-ups, we'll be back with tonight's action.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mount Carmel Area High School Gymnasium, where tonight the Mount Carmel Area Lady Red Tornadoes will take on the Montoursville Lady Warriors. I'm Joe Verano, along with my partner Mike Wojtowicz, and we're back and better than ever here on WKMCTV. Mount Carmel enters tonight's game with a record of 15 wins and only 3 losses, and 10 wins and only 1 loss On top of the standings in Heartland Conference Division II, Montoursville enters tonight's game with a 15-5 record with 9 wins and 2 losses. So they are currently in second place, 1 game behind Mount Carmel in the Heartland Division II standings. Mike, tell us a little bit about Mount Carmel area Lady Red Tornadoes.
Yes, thank you, Joe. Mount Carmel Lady Red Tornadoes are led in here tonight's game by Coach Lisa Verano. Over the last 2 seasons, compiling a 42-4 record coming into tonight. Our leading scorers and the catalyst for the Lady Red Tornadoes, Christina Perlis, averaging 17 points per game, about 6 rebounds a game. Follow that up with Ali Verano, 14 points per game and 4 rebounds per game. But top to bottom, Joe, it's a consistent effort and everyone chips in, and it's a total team package here.
I think part of the success for MCA lately has been the addition of sophomore guard Isabella Steller, who has really picked up her game since entering the starting lineup about midway through the season, averaging 6 points a game and really giving the team a nice lift.
Yes, I mean, with the addition of Izzy stepping in from last year to this year, it's been a big help for the Lady Red Tornadoes. With losing, seniors like Renan Aronsfield and Kimmy Anderskavage, they needed someone to come in and fill that hole as far as production, and Izzy's been doing that so far.
Mount Carmel won the previous matchup between these two teams back on January 16th by a score of 39-24 up at Montoursville. Montoursville did have a lead in that game, 15-11 after the first period, but Mount Carmel held Montoursville to only 3 points in the second quarter, and an 8-0 in the fourth quarter to lead that game. And now we're going to have the national anthem. Tonight's game has huge implications, not only for the Heartland Athletic Conference playoffs and District 4 AA. Mount Carmel currently has the lead in Heartland Division II. With the winner of the Heartland Division II would then go into next week's Heartland Conference playoffs. Mike, first time ever we're having that.
Yes, it was a nice addition to have that this year, since the first time since the Heartland Conference was created a few years back that there is a playoff. And I think just about every head coach and every player is excited about something like that. It gives you something to shoot for towards the end of the year. And we're happy to have the Lady Red Tornadoes right in the thick of that conference championship hunt.
And we'll talk more on that in a little bit. It's the starting lineup time. The starters for Montoursville will be number 11, Kirsten O'Malley. She's the point guard, leading scorer, 16 points a game. Marissa Hall, number 12, she's averaging 6 points a game. Mackenzie Ruffing, number 14, a forward. Carly Mill, number 15, averaging 8 points a game. And Allie Yakum, number 25, who is the center. Starters for Mount Carmel, sophomore, number 23, Isabella Steller. At guard, a junior, number 10, Paige Hornick. Another junior guard, number 13, Ali Verano. Center is a junior, number 32, Anna Raybuck. And at forward, number 14, a senior, Christina Perlis. Tonight's officials will be Doug Litweiler, Steve Jacoby, and Jeff Rothman. Mike, we expect to see a bit of a 1-3-1 full court trap from Montoursville tonight. Can you talk a little bit about the press?
Yeah, so I mean, basically what we'll be looking at what a 1-3-1 is, you're going to look to maybe trap in the corners primarily and deny the outlet pass back to the top of the key. So when you see a 1-3-1, you know that the coach is looking to create some turnovers, create an up-pace tempo, and get some out fast breaks moving the other way.
Obviously, Mount Carmel over the last couple of years plays a lot of different defenses. They'll play man, they'll play zone, a couple different full court trap looks. So I think part of the success for the Lady Red Tornadoes over the years is their ability to play a couple of different defenses and change it up. And here's a tap. Mount Carmel controls it. Verano takes it in, misses the shot. Perlis with the rebound, back up and off the glass. And 8 seconds in, it's already 2-0 Mount Carmel.
Looks like Mount Carmel starting out here in a little. Oh, too early to tell there, Joe. Didn't get a good look. Turnover going the other way to Mount Carmel.
Okay, so we're underway. Mount Carmel with the ball with a 2-0 lead. And it looks like Montoursville in a little bit of a
3-2-ish here.
Little bit of maybe a matchup zone, little 3-2. Mount Carmel working around, Hornig at the top of the key to Raybuck in the corner for 3. No good. And the rebound comes to Carly Mill, and Montoursville back the other way. This is Hall inside to Yarkham.
Don't mean to cut you off there, Joe, but it looks like Mount Carmel's in a box and 1. They have Paige Horning, number 10, is picking up Montoursville leading scorer O'Malley up at the top of the key.
Skip pass from Raybuck to Verano. Verano with the jumper from the top of the key, no good. Tipped around, out of bounds, and it'll be Mount Carmel area's ball underneath. Perlis will take it out for the Big Red. Montoursville really packing it in. This is Stellar for 3. And, oh, it's only 2. Long 2 from Isabella Stellar. Mount Carmel leads 4-0. Yes, it is a box and 1, Mike, and Horning is trying to deny O'Malley the ball. As we said, Mount Carmel will play a lot of different defenses. O'Malley averages 16 points a game, so Coach Verano wants to try to take her out of the game as much as possible. This is number 12, Hall for 3, no good. Rebound by Perlis, loses it. O'Malley with the steal, loose ball. Raybuck has it. Mount Carmel back the other way. Horning to Raybuck, 15-footer, and it's good. Great start for Mount Carmel. It's 6-0, and Montoursville with a 30-second timeout.
I like the strategy here by Mount Carmel, Joe, starting out the box and 1 here. That's something that, for any coach, it's not something they prepare for during the week. It's very difficult to run set offensive plays. It's not something that you have in your game plan from week to week, game to game. It's kind of something where once you get into the flow of the game, you're hoping that your girls react to it and, kind of make plays. It kind of, in a lot of cases, speaking of a coach's standpoint, it takes a lot of the strategizing, a lot of the responsibility out of your hands, and it's into the players' hands, which, hopefully Montoursville coach, they like what they see here, and they could turn that around.
I know Mount Carmel had played the box and 1 a lot last year against last 2 years actually against South Williamsport with that Tierney girl who obviously went off to University of Maryland to play. Perlis with the rebound and put back, and it's 8-0 2 minutes into the game. Hall with the ball on the right side, pressured by Verano. This is O'Malley, there's a double team from Verano and a steal. Left hand, no good. Rebound to Mill, back to O'Malley. Over to Ruffing, who will bring it up, and then back to Hall here at half court. That's traveling. Ooh, I thought it was a travel. We're going to have a foul here. Number 13, Ali Verano here first. Team first. Montoursville will have the ball at sideline here at half court. Box and 1 still, Mike.
Yep. Mount Carmel sticking with it.
Kind of takes you out of your game a little bit, especially when your best player, they're denier to the ball, and it's, she's probably used to having the ball in her hands. There's a tip pass. Hall blocked by Raybuck. Verano back the other way. Chased down by O'Malley, but it's up and good from Verano. 10-0 Mount Carmel, 3 minutes into the first quarter.
The Bucks and one here really has Montoursville out of sorts, Joe. They're looking to force, look like they're trying to force O'Malley the ball, and you know, sometimes regardless of how good your best player is, that could be a negative impact on your team as a whole to try and force feed someone the basketball play after play.
That was Ali Yakum who missed the little left-handed runner in the paint. Rebound to Mount Carmel. Verano the Raybuck who loses it, stolen away by Yakum. Montoursville coming back the other way. This is Hall with a little runner. No good, rebound by Verano. Mount Carmel on the attack the other way. Coast to coast for Verano, and she's fouled at the top of the key. Foul is on number 12, Marissa Hall, her first, team first. And substitution, so Alexis Weiser and Kayla Verena in for Montoursville. And sophomore guard number 4, Jennifer Bolick, in for Mount Carmel. She replaces Horning.
Be interesting to see if Mount Carmel sticks with the box and one with Horning leaving the game, or if they'll switch back to more conventional, traditional defense.
Perlis drives the baseline for Mount Carmel, and she's fouled. Fouls on number 23, Kayla Verena, her first, team second. And Perlis will go to the line shooting 2. Christina Perlis, 77% foul shooter on the year, Mike. She makes the first one. Mount Carmel leads 11-0 halfway through the first quarter. And Perlis is 2 for 2 early from the free throw line, 12-0 Mount Carmel.
You can really tell Perlis works on her free throw shooting, her rhythm, her form. It's almost like a down pat science. You can tell she put some time in over the summer and after practice and things like that on the free throw line.
Bolick is now covering O'Malley. Another steal for Mount Carmel. Perlis tries to get it to Verano, but it's tipped and out of bounds. 12-0 Mount Carmel with a big lead early. Inside the Raybuck, up, no good, gets her own rebound, and she's fouled. Anna Raybuck will go to the foul line.
Anna Raybuck tonight, Joe's coming into the game averaging 8 points, 8 rebounds, and there's just a good indication there. She crashes the glass, gets herself some opportunities from the foul line, some easy putbacks. But I mean, 8 rebounds a game, that's a solid number no matter what level of basketball you're playing. So that's a big help for the Lady Red Tornadoes, getting 8 rebounds a game from Anna Raybuck every night.
Raybuck is averaging 71% from the foul line. She's 2 for 2, nice touch. No rim on either of those, Mike. 14-0 Mount Carmel early in this huge Heartland Division II matchup. Roughing, pressured by Stellar, travels, turns it over. When they pick up their dribble, that's what you want to do, Mike. Get up, pressure them, everybody else denies. Mount Carmel gets another turnover. Bolick will bring it up. Montoursville now, I still think it's a matchup zone. It's Bolick for 3, no good, tipped around, Raybuck with the rebound, back up and in. 16-0 Mount Carmel, and another Montoursville timeout with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Mount Carmel leads 16-0. This looks like a full timeout.
Yes, Coach Kirks for Montoursville is not too happy. He's adjusted a few times, switching defenses, trying to make some adjustments on the fly, so to speak, with the Mount Carmel running the box and one defensively on their end, and he doesn't look all too happy about the response he's gotten from his team, and he's really letting them hear it here with 3:20 to go in the first quarter, and Mount Carmel out to a 16-0 lead. Doesn't get a much better start than this, Joe, for Mount Carmel. No. I think Coach Verano can't be much more happier at this point.
This is a perfect start for Mount Carmel. 16-0, a little bit more than halfway through the first quarter. This is a big matchup. Offensive rebounds, steals. I think Montoursville was a little bit confused with the box and one. Mount Carmel's going to stay with it. Jen Bolick will cover O'Malley. She's averaging 16 points a game, Mike. I think she has 1 touch here early on and no shots yet. They're going to run. They keep running her off this low screen. There she is. Bolick pressuring. Stellar with the help. Defense out of bounds. It'll be Montoursville ball from the short corner. O'Malley takes it out of bounds. This is 22. Weiser inside to Mill. Kicks it out to O'Malley. There's the double from Stellar. you know, you could tell Mount Carmel's well coached, Mike. They turn their back, and that's when the double comes. Raybuck with the block. Stellar to Verano, back the other way. Mount Carmel will set it up. Bolick from the top of the key for 2, and that's good. Mount Carmel's hot early, Mike, and when they miss, they're all over the offensive glass.
That's right. And like you mentioned, Joe, it's not talking about being well coached. Whenever someone turns their back, the players have the ability and the opportunity to double freely. You know, that's something that a player does on their own. The coach can't tell you to do that exactly, you know, at a certain point in time. But Coach Verano gives her players, you know, the ability to make plays, and that's a good feeling when you're a player, when you know the coach has confidence in you to, you know, get the job done and do things on your own out there.
Ball was out of bounds off Weiser. Montoursville with out of bounds play. This is number 22, Weiser for 3, and she hits, and Montoursville's finally on the board after 6 minutes, but Mount Carmel with an 18-3 lead. Stellar to Verano. Bolick with a cut through the lane to Raybuck. Verano cutting in. Mount Carmel showing some patience here.
Now Montoursville now is in a triangle in 1, it looks like. Looks like Perlis is being guarded as the 1. Your turnover here.
That was Bolick, another long jump shot, and Mill steps on the sideline. Another turnover. Mount Carmel ball leading 20-3, minute 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Bolick will bring it up for Mount Carmel. Yeah, it's an odd zone. The middle guy is guarding us way low. Raybuck with a jumper. Mount Carmel's on fire here early. 22-3, minute and 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Horning is back in for Mount Carmel. She's back to the box in 1. Stellar with the rebound. Mount Carmel on the secondary break here. And, Stellar will set it up. Bolick back to Stellar for 3. Oh, Mount Carmel is just on fire. Isabella Stellar for 3. 25-3, under a minute to go in the first quarter. This is Weiser, this is Hall. Montoursville working it around. Turnover. Pass goes out of bounds. 39 seconds left. Mount Carmel leading 25-3. We'll see if they'll hold for the last shot here. Horning walks it up. Montoursville not really pressuring. Horning will hold. Looks like Mount Carmel's going to play for the last shot here.
Looks like Montoursville switched back to a traditional 2-3 zone after going in the diamond in 1 on Perlis. And it looks like Mount Carmel's going to wind it down here, take the last shot. We have about 15 seconds remaining in the period.
Stellar to Perlis, 10 seconds left. Perlis, Stellar, Horning from the corner, back to Stellar, who drives the lane in the middle. Runner just blocked, but Perlis with the rebound. She's fouled with 1 second left. You know, Mount Carmel, for as fast as they play, showed really nice patience there, Mike.
Yes, it's always an advantage when you have a team that could push the tempo up and down the court pretty much with anyone on the schedule, but when the time comes to kind of hone it back a little bit, do the smart thing, control the pace, and hold for 1 shot. You know, you have a total package there, and that the Lady Red Tornadoes are doing that well tonight so far.
Perlis converts both free throws. Mount Carmel leads 27-3 at the end of the first quarter. And we'll be back after this short break on WKMCTV.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Start of the second quarter, Mount Carmel leads 27-3. Mike, this is a huge game in the Heartland Conference. Mount Carmel, even though they have 2 league games left on Monday and Tuesday with Hughesville and Lewisburg, could essentially wrap up the Division II championship and earn themselves a berth in the first ever Heartland Athletic Conference playoffs. It seems that Milton has the inside track to win Division I. Muncie or Benton, who play tonight, have a chance to win Division III. Mount Carmel has already beat Benton, so it looks like not only we might be the favorite for District 4 AA again, we might be the favorite for the Heartland Conference too, especially if we're playing like we played in the first quarter, shooting the ball like that. Montoursville's first possession, they turn it over after 30 seconds.
Yes, and that'll be 2 years in a row where basically Mount Carmel's in position to win the Heartland Division II Conference Championship, and at this point they control their own destiny, and at this point in the season, that's all you can hope for as a coach, as a player, is that you can go out there on the court and kind of control what happens moving forward.
Ruffing tried to get it to O'Malley. She turned it over for another Montoursville turnover, and it'll be Mount Carmel's ball, and here comes the full court pressure from Montoursville.
Yes, Coach Kurtz and the Montoursville Lady Warriors are looking to try and make something happen here.
Verano to Bolick from the corner. Jen Bolick, 3 for 3 shooting early on.
Give Mount Carmel credit. Montoursville came out, tried to apply some pressure, force some turnovers, change the tempo the way this game's going so far. Mount Carmel broke it with ease, and we have a 3-point field goal from Bolick in the corner, and nothing has changed. Mount Carmel still rolling at this point.
Turnover again for Montoursville with the steal by Verano. Hornig will bring it up over to Raybuck. Back to Hornig. Back to Raybuck. Hornig cuts through. Good flash, good find. She goes up and is blocked. Montoursville. Here's O'Malley. First time she's really had to handle the ball in the open court, but she gives it up. 14 roughing for 3, no good. Offensive rebound for Hall. She shoots, and that's an air ball. And it'll be Mount Carmel basketball.
Montoursville really looks out of sorts here against the box and one. They just haven't figured out a way to kind of incorporate O'Malley into offense, but at the same time keep the other 4 players on the court, involved. Do get a quick steal here.
Hornig turns it over. Mill with the basket.
Mount Carmel the other way. Bolick to the basket, fouled.
Jen Bolick adding a nice spark off the bench with 3 long jumpers for Mount Carmel. Now she'll go to the line.
I think if you ask any coach, what you want to bring off the bench as sixth man or in any type of substitution, would be someone that comes in and brings energy first and foremost, which Bolick definitely does, but also that person to come off the bench and can hit a jump shot or put the ball in the basket immediately. And Bolick has been doing that with Mount Carmel so far tonight, and I think with that foul shot, 10 points on the night already, Joe, and here we are only 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Montoursville up ahead to Varema, but she walks with it. The Mount Carmel ball leading 30-5. 5 minutes, 49 seconds left in the second quarter. Hornig jogs it up for Mount Carmel. Montoursville back in the zone. Although, as we've seen in the first quarter here, the middle gets wide open for some reason, Mike. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do defensively, if that's what they normally do. I've never seen it. It's Perlis on the baseline. She drives, she's blocked. Tipped around, she gets her own rebound and puts it back up and in.
I think part of that, Joe, is Mount Carmel seems to be running short corner to short corner with Raybuck and Perlis. So that's allowing or causing, I should say, Montoursville center to kind of dip back underneath the basket, opening up the middle for the guards of Mount Carmel to maneuver in that area.
O'Malley takes her first shot and she converts and is fouled. Fouls on Paige Hornig of Mount Carmel, her first, team's second. So O'Malley will go to the line for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Mount Carmel leading 32-7, 5:09 left in the second quarter. No good. Perlis with the rebound to Verano to Bolick. And Bolick to Stellar on the wing. Back to Bolick. Mount Carmel showing some patience here to Verano. Stellar flashes the middle. Perlis is open on the skip. Spin move.
Nice move there by Christina Perlis. One dribble to the right, spin move back to the middle, left hand up and in. Very impressive.
And she's a complete player. I mean, we've seen her 4 for 4 from the line. Use her right, can use her left. She's playing with a little injury to her hand. She hurt her hand, came back 2 nights later, scored 27 points, so can't really be affecting her too much.
Yes, I mean, she is a righty. For those of you watching that may not be sure, she is a righty, but she does have such skill with her off hand, which is her left. Her game really hasn't faltered at all, since the injury.
Stellar for 3 for Mount Carmel, and she converts. Mount Carmel with a 30-point lead in the middle of the second quarter. Marissa Hall drives the lane, and she's fouled, so she'll go to the line. Mount Carmel foul is on number 32, Anna Raybuck, her first, team third, and this is Marissa Hall on the line for Montoursville.
Yes, that was really only the first breakdown we've seen tonight from Mount Carmel defensively. They got beat off the dribble. Raybuck was a little bit late, rotating over, had to take the foul and put Montoursville on the line for 2.
Hall misses the first. Freshman Allie Parker in for Mount Carmel to give Christina Perlis a break. Hall converts the second, so halfway through the second quarter, Mount Carmel leads 37-8. Montoursville has abandoned the full court press. I think about their 3 possessions, we broke it 3 times, so I think we took them out of their comfort zone a little bit. Coach Verano from Mount Carmel will take a timeout. 3 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Mount Carmel leads 37-8, and we'll be back.
She passed away about 6 months ago. It was really hard to learn that there was no cure. So we sought hospice care. The hospice people, they really helped. They made her feel comfortable. And they helped me and the girls, especially the girls. They're helping us get through this loss. Hospice people, they're good people. They're really good people.
37-8 lead for Mount Carmel, 3:58 remaining in the second quarter. Mount Carmel will have the ball at half court. Stellar will inbound. Montoursville has switched to man-to-man defense here, Mike.
Yep. This is probably about the 3rd or 4th defense that Montoursville's tried tonight. They tried their basic, 3-2 to start. And then they went to a 2-3 zone. They tried a diamond and 1, and now going straight man-to-man.
O'Malley with a nice pass ahead to Marissa Hall. She converts for Montoursville, 37-10. Verano with the ball. This is Parker, back to Verano, to Raybuck. Verano cuts through, it's tipped away. Bullock pulls up, misses, gets her own rebound, misses again. Bounced around, this is Stellar with a little runner. Tried to draw contact, but no foul. O'Malley back the other way for Montoursville. She passes to number 23, Kayla Varema, rolls around the rim and out. Stellar back the other way for Mount Carmel. To Raybuck. Raybuck to Verano. Beautiful pass. The Raybuck can't convert, but she gets her own rebound and scores for 2. 39-10 Mount Carmel, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter. That's 22. Alexa Weiser for 3, no good. Stellar brings it back. Mount Carmel gonna run this continuous offense with this double low screen on the bottom, try to work some clock, or Raybuck takes a 3, and it's good. Hot shooting in the first half for Mount Carmel, 42 points.
I tell you, Joe,
14 minutes of basketball.
I tell you, Joe, it's top to bottom here. I mean, not only we have Bullock that hit a couple 3-pointers early on, who out of the guard position, but we have Raybuck stepping out in essence as a center position. He's shooting jump shots, making 3-pointers as well. I mean, defensively for Montoursville, it really is tough to make adjustments and guard Mount Carmel if everyone on the floor is at a threat at pretty much any position on the court.
And something scary, Mike. Allie Verano averages 14 points a game. She has 2.
Yes, when your second leading scorer and arguably your best overall player, depending on how you look at it, has not really been a factor scoring wise, and you have 42 points with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. That's a total team effort. That's good news for the night for the Big Red.
Varema converts the second free throw. Mount Carmel leads 42-11. Nearing the end of the first half, Horning and Perlis are back in for Mount Carmel. This is Stellar at the top of the key. A high screen from Verano. Hits Verano on the roll, but she can't handle it. O'Malley the other way. Fouled hard by Stellar, but that's a good foul, Mikey. If you're going to foul someone shooting a layup, you want to make sure that they're not going to convert.
Yes, I mean, if someone has a breakaway layup and it's, nip and tuck going down the court, I'm always a big fan of taking the foul. You don't give them a three-point play, but you don't give them easy two. And it turned out to work in Mount Carmel's favor because O'Malley had just missed the first one of the two-shot foul here. So a smart play.
Carly Mill returns for Montoursville. O'Malley misses the first free throw. Here's her second attempt. That's also no good. Tipped around. Rebound by freshman Allie Parker. Stellar will bring it up. Mount Carmel leads 42-11. About a minute to go here in the first half. This is Hornig. Little pick and roll with Perlis. Parker posting up. It's kicked around. Perlis up off the rim. Won't go in. Out of bounds ball to Montoursville.
Perlis is very skilled around the basket with her left hand. And that leaves the defense at a disadvantage a lot because you don't really know what hand she's going to shoot with. So it's very difficult to prepare or anticipate any move that she's going to make.
Stellar with the long rebound, outlets it to Verano.
And that's
up and in for two.
That's Mount Carmel. That's one of their primary factors of their game plan is the breakouts. Defense creates offense. And here we have Verano going the other way again.
Misses the layup. And a foul in the backcourt.
Probably a little bit of frustration there. But, overall, Mount Carmel gets a ton of breakouts every game. Fast breaks that lead to layups, lead to points, whether it's a steal or a block shot or a rebound outlet. They look to push. They get themselves easy baskets, which, takes a lot of pressure off them, throughout the course of a game because you don't have to worry about scoring all your points in a half-court set, which it could be difficult from time to time.
Raybuck replaces Verano. Mount Carmel still in the box and one. Big lineup here for Mount Carmel with Parker, Raybuck, and Perlis in the game, along with Hornig and Stellar, who have a double team on O'Malley, who cuts down the lane. Scoop shot up, no good, bounced around. And a basket by Carly Mill, number 15. 5 seconds left. Perlis drives, the runner is no good. And it's halftime here at Mount Carmel area with the Mount Carmel area Lady Red Tornadoes leading the Montoursville Lady Warriors 44-13. And we'll be back.
Welcome to Cook It Safe Challenge, where teams compete to make the right decision about safe food preparation. Our challenge in this round, oven or microwave. To win, teams must use the proper steps for safe meal preparation, read and follow package cooking instructions, and know when to use the conventional oven or the microwave. You're on the clock, so make your decisions quickly, but be warned, make the wrong choice and your meal will be unsafe. Sorry, Team 2, an unwise choice. Check the cooking instructions on that package you ripped open so quickly.
Dude, what?
Microwaves and conventional ovens both have a purpose. Your challenge was to cook the dish safely. This means knowing which method of cooking to use, and you failed.
We failed to read and follow the package cooking instructions and use a conventional oven.
If you don't follow cooking instructions, some foods may be hot but may not have reached a safe internal temperature. Use a food thermometer to be sure.
We kept focus on reading and following the package cooking instructions.
And we used the conventional oven and a food thermometer.
Can you cook it safe?
Hello, I'm Cheryl Hill. My son Tyler, a vibrant 16-year-old teen, an honor student, MVP in rugby, a leader, and a role model, died on a student travel trip to Japan. His death was 100% preventable. After his death through angst, we discovered that there is no federal oversight, minimum guidelines, qualifications, or transparent reporting required in this $20+ billion industry. My husband and I published TylerHill.org to engage and inform the public. We did not expect to hear from so many others who have been abused, raped, starved, abandoned, and killed on programs abroad. We wanted to do more. We founded Clear Cause to advocate for safe global youth travel. We believe parents and students have every right to know the qualifications, conditions, and safety record of programs entrusted with their future. Our young ones often do not know how to contact emergency services, make an international call, or reach their counselor overseas. Families often do not have passports, funding, insurance, or legal counsel to help their kids when their trip goes bad. During Tyler's brief trip, he took great pride in representing America in Japan. He embraced the Japanese culture, making incredible friends. As host family to 8 international youth for more than 12 years, we know how amazing this experience can be, or not. Our next generation of global leaders deserve safeguards. An emergency preparedness plan and safe traveling youth assessment are underway. We need your help. Please donate to Advanced Safety Standards for safe global youth travel. Our cause is clear. Keep America's youth safe overseas. Thank you.
Being a gold medalist skier requires a lot of hard work, intense training, and time outside on the mountain. But taking care of my skin is easy and doesn't affect my performance. Every day I apply sunscreen and wear protective gear. I know protecting my skin will help prevent skin cancer and avoid wrinkles. I get my skin checked regularly by a dermatologist. 1 in 5 Americans will develop some form of skin cancer in their lifetime. My name is Julia Mancuso and I'm wearing orange to help put a spotlight on skin cancer.
And we're back to Mount Carmel Area High School Gymnasium with Mount Carmel Area Lady Red Tornadoes leading Montoursville Lady Warriors 44-13. And we have some scoring and some other statistics from the first half. Mount Carmel in the first half was led by Anna Raybuck with 13 points, Christina Perlis with 12, Isabella Steller with 8, Jen Bolick 7 off the bench, and Ali Verano 4. Perlis has 6 rebounds to go with her 12 points, and Raybuck has 6 rebounds to go with her 13 points. And Steller added 5 rebounds. For Montoursville, not much happening, Mike. Kirsten O'Malley, their leading scorer with 16 points a game, had 2 points in the first half. Marissa Hall, 3 points. Carly Mill, 4 points. Alexis Weiser with 3, and Kayla Verena with 1. And for as well as Mount Carmel played in the first half shooting and defensively, Montoursville just didn't really have it.
No, Montoursville was out of sorts from the get-go with the box and one. Mount Carmel forced Montoursville into double-digit turnovers in the first half. That's never a good sign. And in addition to Mount Carmel, you had mentioned the rebounding and the points. Assist-wise, they have 9 assists in the first half. So, I mean, they're scoring a lot on, passing the ball around, working for the good shot, getting the open shot, and converting, which, so far, it's a total team effort. As I don't remember if you mentioned at the beginning of the game, Joe, but Mount Carmel coming into the game is averaging 54 points a game. At half, they have 44. So I don't know if it could have been a much better first half for Mount Carmel here tonight against Montoursville.
No, 9 assists, as you pointed out, Mike. That's a sign of some really good shooting or some really, really wide open shots, which was a combination of both for Mount Carmel. It'll be Mount Carmel's ball to start the second half. Montoursville playing man-to-man again. Verano turns it over. This is Mill coming back the other way for Montoursville, and it's tipped and out of bounds. It'll be Montoursville basketball. I think the box and one has Montoursville a little stumped. You can see O'Malley once or twice. She got the ball out in the open court and she's really fast, really good ball handler, but they can't seem to get her the ball in a half-court set where she could really do anything, and I think we've just completely taken her out of her game.
No, and in all reality, the best thing to do against a box and one is to run some of your normal sets and have the other 4 players, on the team offensively kind of take advantage of it, because you're going to have seams, especially in the middle of the floor.
The middle should be wide open.
Exactly. The problem is Montoursville, it just seems like they wanted to force feed O'Malley the ball, and unless you're Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, players of that stature, Cheryl Swoop, so to speak, on the women's side, a box and one is going to shut down just about anyone, especially if you try to force feed them the basketball.
Yeah, and as we mentioned in the first half, Mount Carmel used it last year several times over the last year and the year before against that Tierney girl from South Williamsport who had over 2,000 career points, and I think we held her to 7, maybe 6 or less than that. And one time down here last year, Raybuck for 3, no good. Perlis with the rebound. She falls. She might be hurt. O'Malley coming back the other way. Underneath to Yakum for 2, and we're going to stop play here. Perlis looks like she hit.
Yeah, she got bumped in the face a little bit. It looks like here maybe a nose or an eye type of thing, but I saw her signal to Coach Verano that she's okay. So she's a tough girl. She seems like she'll be all right and back in the game probably a couple minutes here.
Yeah, sometimes those injuries hurt a lot right early, and then after a minute or 2 you can sort of walk it off. Stellar underneath from Raybook. Fade away to the baseline, no good. Verano with the rebound, too strong. Jakob with the board for Montoursville. Mount Carmel pressuring a little bit in the backcourt, and that's what happens. You can give up a layup the other way, but Mount Carmel hustles back. Out of bounds off Stellar. Montoursville basketball 2 minutes into the second half. Mount Carmel leading 44-15. So this is Hall at the top of the key. Bolick has switched to O'Malley, and there's another turnover. O'Malley tips it away from Stellar, but she's fouled hard.
You can see the aggressiveness and the intensity there on O'Malley-wise, going after the ball there. She's obviously a little frustrated. This boxing one is taking her out of her game, but she had a chance there to, get a breakaway layup there, but Mount Carmel had fouled her prior too. But you could tell she's a little frustrated, with this boxing one.
That foul was on Jen Bolick, and we have another foul here against Mount Carmel. That's on Bolick again, and that'll be her 3rd. Team 2nd here in the second half. So 3 fouls on Bolick, who gave Mount Carmel a nice lift in the first half. Raybuck with the rebound. She leads the fast break. Leaves it for Bolick. Left hand off the glass and in. Jen Bolick having a very nice game off the bench here for Mount Carmel. She does have 3 fouls though, so we'll see if that affects her play at all. Horning has switched back to O'Malley in the box and 1. Jakob from the top of the key, no good. Another rebound for Raybuck. Starts the fast break out to Bolick. Bolick will pull it out, being pressured by O'Malley. Smart move by the sophomore. Horning with a hook shot, no good. A little bit out of control. Montoursville back the other way. This is Hall. Bad pass stolen by Verano. Drives the middle, no good. Chipped around, gets her own rebound. That's shots up and no good. Montoursville has it. Ruffing driving down the left side. Steps out of bounds.
Getting a little hectic and sloppy here to start the third quarter, which in a game like this with the point differential being about 30 points you come to expect. But, from both coaches, being it's the end of the season, we have a week left, what you want to preach, and, tonight obviously doesn't look like Montoursville's night, but you still want to execute. And the same thing with Coach Verano is you don't want the players out there, her team, to get sloppy. You want to still do the things you would if it was a normal, very close game. So that's going to be the challenge for both coaches moving forward the rest of this game is obviously Montoursville wants to get back into the game, but Mount Carmel wants to, preserve their lead. So the key is not to get sloppy, continue executing the way you would, right to start a basketball game from the tip.
Perlis back in the game for Mount Carmel. That's a good sign. She passed from Stellar. She drives the baseline. No good. Mill the rebound for Montoursville. Here they come the other way. This is Ruffing. Ahead to number 23, Verierna. Shot no good. Perlis with the rebound. Perlis to Stellar halfway through the third quarter. Coach Kurtz from Montoursville is not too happy. Perlis underneath, she loses it. A little slow to get up is Perlis again. She's not too happy. She'll be replaced by freshman number 33, Allie Parker. And our main man, Jeff Sluck from Star, will have a look at Perlis. Looks like her knee or ankle.
She has a little bit of blood on the knee there, so Mr. Sluck will get that taken care of and get her back in shape, ready to roll here.
So O'Malley from Montoursville being guarded closely by Bolick. Turns her back. Here comes the double team from Verano. O'Malley throws it away. Stolen by Parker. Ahead to Verano. But that pass is no good. Montoursville with it. That was 15. Mill, no good. Gets her own rebound, but steps out of bounds. Like you said, Mike, a little bit of sloppy play here in the third quarter from both teams.
Yes, certainly not as crisp as it was in the first half, or, on the Mount Carmel side, obviously. I mean,
Montoursville, this is O'Malley coming back the other way, guarded by Bolick. Crossover, loose ball. Jumper from the corner, no good. Stellar with a rebound. I think be wise for Mount Carmel, slow it down, try to get a really good set here, run a good offense. A high screen and roll with Stellar and Bolick. Nothing doing. Over to Verano, screen from Raybuck. Verano off the glass for two.
Boy, she really could turn the corner and get to the basket and kind of turned it on next gear, so to speak. She just took one or two dribbles, seemed kind of casual, nonchalant, and then before you know it, she's shooting a layup and she's at the basket scoring two.
We have a 30-second timeout here for Montoursville. 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Mount Carmel leads 48 to 15. It looks to me, Mike, that Montoursville's probably a zone team. They tried two zones before they went to man. Mount Carmel ran that high pick a couple times, and no one from Montoursville is really hedging or jumping out. And like you said, Verano could turn the corner. When you're guarding the person who's setting the screen and you're not helping, and you have someone like Verano coming off as quick as she is to turn the corner, those pick and rolls are going to be deadly.
Yes, I mean, if you're not a team that plays man all the time, it's very difficult to, say flip the switch, so to speak, and, just start playing man-to-man right away and knowing all the little nuances, switch the screen to fight through it, the rotation to the basket if someone gets beat into the paint. Those are type of things that take practice and they take, unity of a team, so it's not something that you're going to probably pick up on the fly if it's not something you have been doing all year long.
O'Malley is out of the lineup for Montoursville, and Mount Carmel switches to a 2-3 zone. Montoursville no good. Raybuck tips it out to Stellar. Mount Carmel on a secondary break the other way. Stellar will pull it out and set up an offense, probably a smart move. There's that pick and roll, a little backdoor cut. Verano pass is tipped away. Montoursville on the fast break. That's 22 Weiser with a runner. So Mount Carmel leads 48-17. Minute and a half left in the third quarter. Raybuck out at the tornado. Over to Verano. Verano holding it. Montoursville not really pressuring the ball too much. Pick and roll with Parker. Verano on the baseline to Bolick. Bolick with the right hand. Up and in. And a foul.
Boy, Bullock's really having a heck of a game here tonight for Mount Carmel, especially, with the production on the offensive end. Our statistics here, which are not exact, but what do we have, are about 14, 15 points?
11, a chance for 12 here, but it seems like she's kind of been all over the place. We jinxed her, no good.
Always happens that way.
Montoursville coming back the other way. Almost. Pass tipped around. Perlis back in. Jeff Sluck's done a good job. No good. Montoursville's taking a lot of outside shots, and they haven't converted really any of them. A loose ball for Rierna. That's up and in. Mount Carmel up 50-19, under a minute left to go in the third quarter. High pick and roll again. Stellar with a crossover move down the lane.
Nice move. Nice move by Izzy there. She took the dribble off the pick and roll. She made a crossover, which takes skill. That tells something. She works on her ball handling. Crossover in the middle of the paint and finished the basket.
The sophomores are really playing well for Coach Lisa Verano tonight. Shot underneath, no good. Bullock with the rebound. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. She'll bring it up. And Mount Carmel looks like they'll play for the last shot. This is Perlis. She'll hold it. 20 seconds left. Up to Verano. Screen from Parker. She rolls. Verano cuts back, finds Bullock underneath. And she is fouled. So with 10 seconds left in the third quarter, foul is on number 23, Kayla Vierna of Montoursville. It's her second, team third. That foul was on the floor. Marissa Montgomery, the senior, into the game for Mount Carmel. 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Perlis will take it out underneath. So it's Hornig to Montgomery to Bullock. Back to Montgomery to Hornig. Tries to get it underneath to Perlis. Stolen away from by Montoursville. And that's the end of the third quarter. Mount Carmel leads 52-19. We'll be back after this.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
We're back here at Mount Carmel area. Joe Gallagher in his 19th year doing the clock blows the horn. Start of the fourth quarter, Mount Carmel leads 52-19. Only 8 points for Mount Carmel in that third quarter, half of them by Jen Bullock, but they held Montoursville to 6, so big lead for Mount Carmel at the end of the half. They extended a little bit there in the third quarter, Mike, but a little bit of sloppy play.
Yeah, so I mean, Mount Carmel did what they had to do. I mean, you can't expect them, to score, 20 points a quarter, the whole way through the game. So, they were due to kind of get more of along the lines of controlling the pace, controlling the tempo. They scored a little bit less points, but they didn't really give up many points either. So, they're still in good shape, obviously, moving forward.
A spin move from Perlis, but she's tied up and she walked with it. So it'll be Montoursville ball. Montgomery, Warnig, Bullock, Perlis, and Raybuck for Mount Carmel. And O'Malley's back in for Montoursville. That means box and one. Hornig is denying in the corner. Montgomery ties up Mill at half court. And it'll be Mount Carmel ball. Good to see the senior with a nice hustle play on defense.
Nice hustle there by Montgomery. Good to see her. Yourself and I had the pleasure of going to high school with her brother, Matthew. So it's good to see, people we know, getting their chance out there. We know Marissa for many years, so it's good to see her out there hustling and, contributing to tonight's game.
This is Perlis to Bullock to Montgomery. Inside to Perlis, step through. And up strong, and she's fouled. Christina Perlis will go to the line for Mount Carmel.
Now, you mentioned, Joe, that it was Mr. Gallagher's 19th year working the clock here at Mount Carmel. This is his second game of the day. So, though it's 19 years, I don't know how many times, many clock keepers do 2 games in one day. But this is Joe's second game of the day. I don't think he's left since probably 12 o'clock this afternoon.
That's correct, Mike. And as you mentioned, it is the second game of the day. The Mount Carmel boys varsity team qualified for District 4 playoffs today with their 11th victory today over Central Columbia. So it's good to see the Mount Carmel area back in the District 4 playoffs.
Yeah, so we're happy about that. I mean, it's a weight off our shoulders, so to speak. We're 11-8 at this point in time. So, now at this point, we get to go into the last week of our season and trying to obviously improve our seed. We have some big games, Lords and Shamokin, which are our local rivalry. So it's good to have the 11th win, and now we hope to get a couple more wins and get a better seed for the district playoffs.
As you said, we could play a little bit more relaxed over these last couple games, which is good when you have games with Lords and Shamokin. And we're playing good ball late. We're playing well at the right time of year, so we don't know how the seed falls.
No, you'll never.
Hopefully we can get a good draw.
Absolutely.
That's Yuckham for Montoursville off the glass. Mount Carmel leads 53-21, 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Bullock to Perlis, drives the baseline, spin move, left-handed runner, no good. Rebound by Hall for Montoursville. She's coming back, so Montoursville down 30 points, been down big the whole game, still playing hard. Another three-pointer from Montoursville, that's no good though. Blocked by Raybuck. Jakob off the glass, no good. Raybuck with the rebound. She has to have a double-double by now.
Yeah, she had 6 at half. Last time we had checked down, she's close. She has 9 rebounds at this point in time.
Here's a steal by Hall, and she lays it in. So like we just said, Montoursville playing hard here despite being down by 30 points. I mean, I think people watching the game out there might not realize that this Montoursville team has 15 wins this year already.
Yes, I mean, they're coming into tonight's game at 15-4, I believe. So, I mean, they're obviously no slouch, and they're a quality team. They're 9-2 in the Heartland Conference. Just, tonight wasn't their night, and it'll be interesting to see, how this impacts them, moving forward into their district playoff run.
Jakob off the glass and in for Montoursville. Mount Carmel leads 53-25, 5 minutes left in the game. This is Bullock off the screen to Raybuck. Skips it to Hornig, jumper from the corner, too strong. Rebound by Ruffing for Montoursville. It's ahead to Jakob. Out to Hall, she drives, blocked by Raybuck. And Mount Carmel slow it up, Hornig walks it up. Montoursville still playing man in the half court. Hornig in no hurry, drives to the right side. And a quick double from Hall, and there's a turnover for Mount Carmel. Verano and Stellar back in the game, replacing Montgomery and Paige Hornig.
And I think Paige Hornig has done a really good job this year. I mean, as far as the team coming back from last year, they're 27-1. She was one of the returning players, but she filled in the point guard spot, vacated by Heather Bullock, which, quite honestly, your point guard is like your quarterback of the team. So that's arguably the best, most important position, most crucial position on the floor. And she stepped in, she's filled that role, and she's someone to get them in offenses. Bring the ball up the court, handle pressure. So that's an important factor. It allows some of the other players on the team to do their scoring and things like that. So you may not see her in the box score as far as points and things of that nature, but she's a very crucial, imperative part of this year's team.
Carly Mills scored on a runner from Montoursville. Mount Carmel turns it over. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Mount Carmel leading 53-27. Been a bit of a closer game since they switched to man-to-man, Mike. We thought we'd see that full court press. We only saw 2 or 3 possessions. Mount Carmel kind of took them out of their game, I think, early.
Yes, Montoursville's played did a little bit better here in the second half. Mount Carmel still is holding a steady lead here, but definitely Montoursville's played pretty much even up with Mount Carmel here in the second half, which is a credit to their girls. They're not getting quit. They didn't give up. They're still playing hard. It's still a competitive game out there.
Perlis's runner was no good. Rebound to Montoursville, and Perlis commits the foul. 3 minutes left. O'Malley brings it up for Montoursville. Mount Carmel still in the box and 1. This time Ali Verano will guard her. Nothing like being played a box and 1 against you the whole game, and then you're down 30 points, 3 minutes left, and probably the fastest girl in the whole conference then switches on you when you're nice and tired.
Yes, I mean, Ali Verano's athletic ability allows her to, wear many hats for this team. She can pretty much guard the other team's best, offensive player. She can bring the ball up the court. She rebounds. She scores. She gets to the basket. She does a number of different things. Steals. She's averaging quite a few steals a game. She does a lot of things, and her athletic ability kind of lends to that. But her hustle and hard work also, picks up the other half of that.
Stellar's traveling violation is another turnover for Mount Carmel. O'Malley for 3. kind of left her go there a little bit. And I think that's the first outside shot I can recall here from Montoursville.
Well, there's a little bit of a glimpse there of what O'Malley can do. You give her a step, she steps back, hits a 3 in stride. You could tell the young lady has some skills and is quite a player. It's just, for anyone, you can't really fault her. A boxing one is tough. You're not going to get your normal looks. You're not going to get your normal comfort zone of a game. So, she's had a tough night tonight, but you could see she's a skilled player.
There she is again. Another 3. And Lisa Verano will take a timeout with 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining. Mount Carmel, a little bit of sloppy play here in the fourth quarter, but they lead 53-33, and we'll be back after this.
114th Infantry Company, Iraq.
The memories are all blurred.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
The words, they're hard to find.
I came back a different person.
I wonder if she's better off without me.
You just feel alone.
You gave all to the cause of freedom. Now it's our turn to give our all to you. It's free and totally confidential. Reach us at operationnotforgotten.com. We are here.
And we're back with 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Mount Carmel area Lady Red Tornadoes 53, Montoursville Lady Warriors 33. Mount Carmel, a little sloppy play, 44 points in the first half, only 9 points here in the second half. And I think for as hot as they were, they got a little bit cold here, a little bit sloppy, but both teams are kind of sloppy, Mike.
Yeah, so Mount Carmel got up to that huge first half lead, so you kind of expected just the human nature to play to drop off just a little bit here. They're still holding a 20-point lead, moving in here to close out the fourth quarter. But give Montoursville a little bit of credit for kind of hanging around, not laying down, and giving effort till the very end here.
Perlis with a foul in the backcourt, and Coach Verano takes her out here for a rest with 2 minutes left as junior Darla Hood enters the game. We're under 2 minutes to go. Turnover for Montoursville. Montgomery, the senior, returns for Mount Carmel, and making her first appearance tonight, sophomore number 12, Jordan Weinhofer. So we have 1 minute, 38 seconds to play. Mount Carmel with a 20-point lead. And this will give Mount Carmel this will clinch the Heartland Division II championship for Mount Carmel tonight, and a spot in the first ever Heartland Athletic Conference playoffs, which will begin, I believe, next Thursday at Bloomsburg University.
Yes, I believe it's at Bloomsburg University. Not sure of the times and things of that nature, but it is at Bloom University. So that'll be great. That'll be nice for the girls to have that experience.
Mount Carmel calls a 30-second timeout. There's 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the game. Probably just to get some substitutions in for Mount Carmel. Looks like number 22, Marissa Klinger, a senior. She's in the lineup for the first time tonight, and the freshman Parker is back in. And we mentioned the Heartland playoffs, Mike. As we said, it looks like Milton has the upper hand in Division I, and either the winner of tonight's Muncie-Benton game will have the upper hand in Division III, with the loser having the opportunity to be the wild card. This loss probably means that the wild card will not come from Division II in the Heartland, and it seems that Division II seems to be the toughest division from top to bottom.
Yes, and that's a plus here for Mount Carmel, because they don't have to face another division team, somewhere, not necessarily, right away in the, in the next round of games here.
And they've already beat Benton earlier this year. O'Malley for 3. I think she's tired. She was chased around by Horning and Bolick and then Verano all night. So we're under a minute to go here. Mount Carmel leads 53-30. Weinhofer will bring it up. Weinhofer to Klinger. A jumper, no good. Montoursville with the rebound. O'Malley coming back the other way. Crosses over Weinhofer, and in with the left So O'Malley, who was quiet most of the game, has 8 points here in the fourth quarter, and you can see how good of a player she is there, Mike. It just, we took her right out of her game early.
Yes, you can definitely see she has skills. Definitely can take it to the basket. She can step back and shoot a little bit. Like you said, Mount Carmel with the box and one took her totally out of sorts. It was a great strategic move by Coach Verano. And, you know, from the get-go, it, in essence, controlled the pace and tempo and, you know, outcome of this game.
So this is the final 10 seconds here in the game. This is number 12, Marissa Hall for three, no good. Bounced around, 2 seconds left. It'll be Montoursville basketball. Well, Montoursville didn't quit, Mike. You could see why they won 15 games this year.
Yes, I mean, they have some good players. You could just tell, you know, the boxing one really caused problems for them early on. But I wouldn't be surprised if they, you know, make some noise in districts. You know, with O'Malley and the supporting cast.
Jacobs fouled by Montgomery. She'll go to the line with 1 second left here. She converts the first. This is Ali Jakob for Montoursville. The second one's too strong. The rebound to Weinhofer. And that'll do it. The final score. Mount Carmel Area Lady Red Tornadoes 53. Montoursville Lady Warriors 36. And we'll be back here for the post-game recap here on WKMC TV.
114th Infantry Company, Iraq.
The memories are all blurred.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
The words, they're hard to find.
I came back a different person.
I wonder if she's better off without me.
You just feel alone.
You gave all to the cause of freedom. Now it's our turn to give our all to you. It's free and totally confidential. Reach us at operationnotforgotten.com. We are here.
Final score tonight was Mount Carmel Area 53, Montoursville 36. And this is the post-game show here. Leading scorers for Mount Carmel were Christina Perlis with 13 points, and Anna Raybuck with 13 points, Jen Bolick with 11 off the bench, Isabella Steller 10 points, and Ali Verano with 6. For Montoursville, Kirsten O'Malley was the leader with 10 points, Ali Jakob with 7, Carly Mill with 6, Marissa Hall and Alexis Weiser with 5 apiece, and Kayla Venema with 3. The story of the game, Mike, I really think was the first half for Mount Carmel. 44 points in the first half, and they held Montoursville to 13, so they did it offensively and defensively in the first half.
Yes, I mean, they took total control of the game right from the jump, and, you know, they, like you had just mentioned, you know, they held a 44 with a, you know, point to, what was it, 13 or 16 at halftime. So they were in control of the game from the start. It was a total team effort, top to bottom. Everyone chipped in, scoring, you know, defensively, rebounding. So it was a good win for Mount Carmel, and that clinches them the conference and the division title here in the Heartland Division 2.
Yeah, important part of the game, I think Kirsten O'Malley from Montoursville is their leading scorer. She averaged 16 points a game. Even though she finished with 10, as we just said, really 8 of them came in the fourth quarter when the game was out of reach. She was basically a non-factor the entire game with the box and one that Coach Lisa Verano went through. I thought Paige Hornig and Jen Bolick and then Ali Verano late really took her out of her game. And Montoursville took a lot of outside shots. You know, with the box and one, you think they'd try to get it inside or the middle would be open. They took a ton of outside shots, and And really, till O'Malley hit those 2 3-pointers late in the fourth quarter, they didn't make anything.
No, and like you had said, they did seem like they had settled for some outside shots. They've kind of settled, and that's what they're going to take instead of trying to driving the ball to the basket. Getting into the teeth of this box and one, which by nature is going to leave the middle open because you just have 2 guards up top on both elbows and 2 bigs on both blocks on the baseline area. So the middle is open. But they did not take advantage of that. They settled for outside shots, and they fell behind early, and they fell behind big, and they just really had no realistic chance of coming back in the second half at all.
Yeah, very hot shooting for Mount Carmel area in the first half. That was really the difference in the game. Balanced scoring again for Mount Carmel. That was the story last year. That was the story this year. 13 and 13 for Perlis and Raybuck. 11 from Bolick off the bench. She played a very, very nice game. 10 from Stellar and 6 from Verano, who averages 14 points a game, only 6 tonight. And Mount Carmel beats a very good Montoursville team by, really it had a 30-point lead. It ended up to be 17, but the game was never that close.
No, the score is not really indicative of how the game went tonight. And like you mentioned, Ali Verano averaging 14 tonight, only scoring 6. And I don't mean that in a negative way for her. I mean, she played fine. It's just everybody else, picked up the scoring and chipped in. And that's you can't be happier as a coach if you're Coach Lisa Verano, knowing that pretty much anyone on your roster, top to bottom, that you're given steady minutes to could produce potential double-digit figures. And it's not like they played a bottom-tier team in their division or on their schedule. Montoursville was 15-4 coming into this game and 9-2 in the division. So arguably they're potentially the best team on their schedule that they'll face. So very big momentum builder and good push positively moving into the end of the season and into the district playoffs and conference playoffs for Mount Carmel.
So the important thing here, Mount Carmel picks up its 16th win of the season. That has to put them at the top or near the top for the number 1 seed for District 4 playoffs. There's a lot of teams bunched around 15 wins. Southern Columbia, who's tough, who beat Mount Carmel. Montoursville has 15 wins. Williamson has 16 wins. Wyalusing 15 wins. So there's a lot of bunching up at the top, but Mount Carmel with its 16th win looks like they may have the inside track to be the number 1 seed in District 4. But before we get to the District 4 AA playoffs, we will have the first ever Heartland Athletic Conference playoffs next week. Mount Carmel's win tonight clinches their 3rd consecutive, I believe, Heartland Division II championship. So as we mentioned, Mount Carmel will play in the Heartland tournament, which, depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this next Wednesday, will be next Thursday up at Bloomsburg University, along with probably Danville, and it looks like Muncie or Benton, and we said Mount Carmel had beaten Benton earlier this year. So it looks like Mount Carmel might be the favorite to win the first ever Heartland playoffs.
Yes, and I think, with their experience returning from last year, with Ali Verano, Anna Raybuck, Paige Hornig had, logged a lot of minutes last year and contributed. I think that gives them a leg up. I mean, there's nothing like, playing in the state tournament, win or go home type of atmosphere. Those type of close games, whether you win them or lose them, are always going to come back as a positive manner for you for years to come. If you have returning players, and we have players that are just juniors that experience those type of tough, intense, very hostile type of environments, full gymnasiums, top-ranked, top-notch competition. If you could go have players, turning over year after year where they're on last year's team and they're coming back with that type of experience, I think that gives you a major leg up, major advantage going in any type of playoff scenario, whether it's district playoffs, state playoffs, or in this case, this year for the conference playoffs. So I'm excited to see Mount Carmel and how they move forward into this playoff run.
I think what Coach Lisa Verano has to be happy about, at least from tonight's and recent play over the last couple weeks, is our sophomores, Isabella Stellar and Jen Bullock, not playing like sophomores at this time of the year. No. They're playing like seasoned veterans, very good minutes. 11 points from Bullock tonight, 10 points from Stellar. Both played very well last week at Southern Columbia in the Coaches versus Cancer extravaganza that they had at Southern. And the sophomores are growing up fast, and that's a good sign for Coach Ferrano.
Yes, I mean, and any coach will tell you, you start, prepping for the season, having open gyms and practices and things like that. I mean, you start the season in November, and here we are in February. So, if you're on a successful team and you're a freshman or a sophomore and you're playing minutes, you age beyond your actual years quicker than you normally would. So, what says on paper as a sophomore is really you may have a, junior experience-wise on the floor, which, the more experience you have, the better, especially when you get to this time of year. That's for sure.
Some of those tough non-league games that we played early, and North Schuylkill comes to mind, and we got beat pretty good by North Schuylkill here. But I think it's a different team than it was now, and you had Stellar and Bullock out there, and it didn't go well early on, but they really kept a good head on their shoulders, and they're really contributing nicely here towards the end of the season.
And that's the thing. It's not so much. I mean, you start the season off in November, and you start playing your games late November, early December, mid-December, depending if you're on a tournaments or whatnot. And and everyone, from the fans to the parents to even the coach yourself or Coach Ferrano herself, probably wants to see instant results, instant gratification type of thing. But in all reality, what matters the most is you are playing your best basketball this time of year. It's February, March is around the corner. That's the goal. Anytime you could be playing basketball in March, you've had a successful season. You've made it because you're at least into the state playoffs. So, Coach Ferrano and staff has these girls playing at a high level at the perfect time. Week to go in the regular season, conference, playoffs ahead of them, districts, and hopefully states. So they're primed and ready to go at just the right time.
So hot shooting early, lockdown, box and one defense for the first half. Where's the difference tonight? Special thanks to Mr. Dave McPhee and his crew at WKMC. They do a tremendous job, and we would like to thank them for giving us this opportunity to do another game this year. And that'll be it. Final score tonight, Mount Carmel area 53, Montoursville 36. I'm Joe Verano.
I'm Mike Wojtowicz.
And we'll try to do better next time. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.